What's up, guys? So, right now I have begun the process of making my own pipe. This is gonna be a bulldog shape. This one seems right now as it is quite big, but it still has a lot of sanding. I have only shaped it with a saw and a rasp. That's all. And I feel like at this point I'm finished with rasping the shape, and now I will begin to use sandpaper. This is P80. What I'm going after. And this is what I have. When I came to this point right here, I don't know if you can see, there's a little black spot right there. And that is the problem. It's a sign of when the root grew, there was like a cavity where sand came in and the wood grew around it. And it's not very good for the structure of the pipe, but this is a very small thing. But the thought of it going further into the wood, it's a scary thought, and it can definitely be detrimental to the whole integrity of the pipe. But yes, I'm actually surprised that I can get this far with a simple tool as a saw and a rasp. And it's very rewarding to get to this point already. I have a hand drill that I'm gonna drill the tobacco chamber and the canal, and it's also gonna be by hand also. I don't have like a bigger machinery for doing that job, so let's see how it turns out. Well, so this is where I'm at now. I got to grid 400 and yeah, just a second. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because I was actually pretty nervous about the alignment of if the pipe is gonna be crooked or if it's gonna bend in places it's not supposed to. And I feel like the further I get with the sanding, the more I reassure myself and I go slowly forward, so I don't over polish the pipe and take material away that stands in the way of the design, or take material away so it stands in the way of the design. But as it is right now. I don't know if it can zoom in enough. You know, the wood is looking gorgeous. For the first time I get to see this kind of wood, the way the fibers go through the wood. And honestly, I don't think I want to rusticate it. I think I want to give it a smooth sanding all over and give it a nice stain that highlights the fibers in the wood. But yes, this is how far I am right now. I will return with more progress later on. So yes. So yeah, this is the kind of wood I'm working on. It's briar, and as far as I know, it's imported from Greece, and I bought it like this. I don't know if the guy I bought it from cuts it like this, or he also imported it in this cut shape. But the thing I was talking about with the pipe being crooked or bending in places it's not supposed to is the way I get this. You know, as you can see, it's not completely as you can see, it's not perfectly a 45-degree angle. And also when I cut it with the saw, you know, because it is very hard wood, you have to be very careful as to not go, you know, off the center line you're supposed to cut it in. And even though I used like a square tool, you know, here I used this kind of tool right here to square it up, but it's still very new to me to work like this. This is my son's teddies, and yes, so it was a challenge to make it completely flush. But as you can see right here, it's going the way I want it to. And if you can see on the top piece right here, where I wanna drill the chamber, I actually took the drill with the sandpaper and just like drilled or sanded straight down to realign the surface. And it's going the way I want it to. So the mistakes you do in the pre-shaping, you can fix when you get to the sanding part. So that's always a nice reassurance that if you do make mistakes, as long as it's not taking too much material off the piece, you can save your progress, or like, you know, compensate somewhat. It's a very forgiving process. As long as you are not in a hurry, you need to take your time. And honestly, the first day I started shaping this piece of briarwood, it's about a month ago, and I just had it laying around because when I start shaping it again, I want to take my time and I want to focus. So it's with a lot of breaks in between and also a lot of time to think about the project and like envision it. And yeah. And the stem, I'm gonna make a stem to the pipe, and it's gonna be of this material. And this is kind of like amber, like epoxy resin. And if I put my son's flashlight on it, you can kind of see this beautiful structure within the epoxy resin. You can also see it a little bit already here. It's very pretty, and I also think when I get to the sanding of this, it's gonna look gorgeous. I also bought a heat gun to give it a little bend after I've shaped it, so look forward to that. Well, here we are again. Unfortunately, in the process of making this pipe, it has taken an unfortunate turn. I bought my drill press and I got to drilling the pipe. My drill press is a small tabletop drill press, and my drill bits was some old I think they're called spoon bits, or like flat drill bits, and they were modified, and well, they drilled very nicely, but the mount in which I mounted my little pipe here was not sturdy enough to hold on to it as it was being drilled. So there was some minor complications. It didn't drill completely flush. There are some imperfections within the hole, but that was that. I managed to drill the pipe chamber, and it got to the depth that I wanted. Now the next step, on to drilling the smoke canal, and this is where it took a turn to the worse, because as I did my measurements on this pipe, I wasn't careful enough to make the lines and the measurements completely straight and perfect. So therefore, when I drilled this canal, it didn't reach the chamber, and it got to the point where I was like, maybe I need to drill even further. So I took the drill bit out of the press and put it on my hand drill, and unfortunately I drilled all the way through and never even got to the point of hitting the mark that I was supposed to. So sadly, this video has not is not gonna reach the climax that I hope for, but nonetheless it was a great lesson for me and a good illustration to show the levels of advancement throughout the pipe making progress, and unfortunately I only got to this point. And I'm gonna, well, it is supposed to be disposed of, but I'm gonna keep this as a reminder to make sure that my measurements are gonna be proper. And I think on my next attempt I'm not even gonna start shaping the pipe before I drill all the holes needed. And yes, I was very disappointed, and anyways, it's not gonna keep me from trying. I'm gonna get back up on it and start completely over. Luckily for me, I still have the stem material untouched and can use that for my next attempt. Now, this was supposed to be a bulldog pipe, maybe a little too much of a long shot for me in the beginning as my first pipe, so therefore I'm gonna try with a Canadian shape or a lumberman, something like that, because I like those kind of shapes. And how can I make a product to other people that I don't like myself? So therefore I'm gonna attempt on that, and I'm gonna drill straight onto the rough shape. I'm gonna saw it out, not like this. I'm not gonna file it or shape it in any way. I'm just gonna saw out the block so we have straight lines, completely squared and everything. So when I get to the drilling, it's gonna be straight as hell and on point, because it seems like that's the part for me that is so far gonna be the biggest challenge. Anyways, this video is a lesson, a little bit of documentation of my process, and if it serves any purpose for you, I'm very happy. But so far this is more of a lesson for me. And to all you guys who are trying to get into pipe making, I hope you learn from my lessons as well. Anyways, I think this is all for me, and if you care for it, check out my other videos. I have a few tobacco reviews, and I think I'm gonna make some more of those. And yes, and in the near future I'm gonna post my next attempt on making a pipe. So yes, this is all for now. Take care, and remember to do what makes you happy. And yes, that's all.